Laos is undergoing rapid changes and experiencing solid economic growth. In this context, FDI management, competition for natural resources, land issues, and growing inequality are some of the challenges facing Laos today. In this climate, it is time for Lao people to consider the balance of moving towards a developed society and meeting present needs without sacrificing the ability of future generations to meet theirs. Education development is often implemented according to Education for All and Millennium Development Goals. While advances have been made towards these targets in Laos, the quality of education is still in need of attention. There are issues around the quality of teachers and their working conditions. Also, in many cases, there are not enough opportunities in schools and communities for hands-on experiences, group work, or the development of problem-solving, analytical and critical thinking skills. It is clear that the education sector has a vital role to play in this critical time in Lao development.
Education should be for something. Therefore, education in this case should be for sustainable development. Education and development should reflect each other and should be supportive of each other. Education is for sustainable development, and sustainable development, it should be the model or something education inspires to.
Implicit in achieving the goals of ESG is the creation of a carefully designed learning environment for the development of the whole person, their head or mind, hand or body, and heart or spirit. People need to first develop and know themselves before they can understand their connection to external elements and their place in the world. Education has three parts. Firstly, training of knowledge, how to think and ask questions. The second part is learning to do, training people to take action and giving them skills to do so. Thirdly, education should train the heart, to have a heart which is full of compassion, love and understanding of oneself, other people, culture and the environment. In today's education, we tend to focus on information and knowledge, but not enough on active learning or the strengthening of our own emotions and spirit.
การศึกษาอยู่ในประเทศลาวเฮาเนาะที่ว่าให้ดีหมดทุกอย่างอย่างก็บ่ทันได้ดีเทื่อเฮาก็ต้องให้มีการปรับปรุงอยากให้มันเป็นนั่นแบบว่าการศึกษาที่ดีเริ่มปลูกจิตสำนึกแต่ตอนอย่างน้อยๆคืออยู่ประถมอนุบาลอย่างนี้นะเนาะให้ฮู้ฮักบ้านเกิดเมืองนอนของเฮาแล้วก็ฮู้ใช้จ่ายแบบประหยัดแบบพอเพียงแบบพอกินพออยู่ว่าซั่นซะแต่ว่าก็ยังให้ปรับปรุงคือว่าต้องมีการฝึกอบรมเนาะเอาแบบใหม่ๆมาแล้วฝึกอบรมให้กับครูเนาะแล้วก็อีกด้านหนึ่งก็คือให้สมทบกับผู้ปกครองเนาะระหว่างครูแล้วก็ผู้ปกครองให้มีการพอผ่านกันเนาะว่าลูกตัวเองหั่นเป็นอะไรเนาะเรียนการเรียนอยู่บ้านดีเป็นอะไรละมาเรียนดีเป็นอะไรเนาะ
ต่อไปก็ควรจะได้ปรับปรุงเนาะมีการจัดแนะนำหรือฝึกอบรมให้แก่ครูอาจารย์เพื่อว่าต้องได้นำพานักเรียนเนาะผ่านประสบการณ์ตัวจริงภายหลังที่เรียนทฤษฎีแล้วเขาเจ้าเฮ็ดได้ทำได้เนาะสามารถไปช่วยเหลือครอบครัวได้อันนั้นก็คิดว่าจะเป็นการดีเนาะในอนาคตลูกหลานเฮานะเนาะ
To accomplish sustainable development, it is necessary to change from within and develop a sense of self-responsibility for preserving and balancing culture, nature and economic growth. Only then, when each person respects themselves and others and is responsible for their own actions, can sustainability be fostered. The model of development as it exists today is not that of balanced development. To have sustainable development, a balance is needed between culture, the environment and the economy, with the ultimate goal of development measures by people's happiness or well-being. Culture is the root of the sustainable development model and in this case relates to an individual's way of thinking, feeling, and acting within their society. Education needs to promote and preserve culture and Indigenous knowledge for future generations and teach about values and identity. Students should understand the connection between culture, environment, and economy in order to act in a responsible and honest way. The present education development model fails to connect people to the natural ecosystem. Humans are continuing to consume and produce as though natural resources will forever continue to exist. People need to be educated in the consequences of their actions and realise that without the environment, life cannot continue to be supported. As it stands now, economic development, GNP or GDP, is considered as the ultimate goal of development at any cost to the environment or culture. This kind of focus creates a culture of greed and materialism and does not foster the type of development that considers the balance or connectedness between the environment and cultural preservation. ESD needs to be implemented at school, at home with family units, and in the wider community. Good cooperation between schools and communities is essential. Leaving education to schools alone is too compartmentalised. Children will not develop fully and holistically. Adults need to model sustainability in all of their actions at home and at school to nurture children and provide role models. Parents or community members can be invited to schools and demonstrate or teach any skills that they have. In addition, Buddhist monks have a role to play by coming to schools to embrace and connect the cultural and spiritual well-being dimensions of education. If children recognise that they are part of a school community, part of a family, and part of a wider community, they will develop more holistically and with a sense of purpose and belonging.
การศึกษาส่วนหลายในตั้งแต่สมัยโบราณก็แม่นเกิดจากวัดวาอารามครูบาอาจารย์อยู่ในวัดวาอารามนี่จะเป็นผู้สอนลูกศิษย์ลูกหาผู้ใดความรู้จากวัดจากว่าไปก็บักได้หลายอันนี้มันก็บ่งบอกถึงว่าโดยเฉพาะประเทศลาวเฮานี่ก็มีความเชื่อมโยงกันมาตั้งแต่ดึกดำบรรพ์ทั้งพระสงฆ์จากหน่วยงานธรรมสัญจรในโครงการพุทธศาสนาเพื่อการพัฒนาพระสงฆ์จากโครงการมิตรธรรมที่ได้ลงไปสอนศีลธรรมให้กับลูกกับหลานอยู่ในโรงเรียนต่างๆเนาะทั้งภาครัฐโดยเฉพาะแม่นกระทรวงศึกษาเพิ่นก็จัดอยู่ในหมวดของภูมิปัญญาท้องถิ่นอยู่ใน 20% ของวิชาการของภูมิปัญญาท้องถิ่นวิชาการ 80%
Education and real-life practices are interlinked and cannot be disconnected. Childhood is a time for curiosity to flourish and to try new things, so education should promote experiential learning. When children learn by doing, their knowledge from classroom subjects and lessons become more relevant, and they are more easily able to make connections between subjects. When children have an opportunity to learn outside the classroom, they have more ownership of their learning and their self-confidence will increase naturally. A child-centred education uses the materials and real-life situations around it. Schools should use different methods, organise the classrooms differently, and take children outside. Learning should be enjoyable and should put some of the power and decisions into children's hands. Adults tend not to encourage children to challenge them or question their thinking at school or at home. However, youth who can think for themselves and evaluate information are key to a sustainable future. They cannot just accept everything they hear passively. They need to be able to make decisions based on evidence and logic, which take into consideration the effects on themselves and a whole society. Creativity needs to be cultivated in order for people to express themselves and to help be innovative and solve problems. Reflection in terms of values and actions is critical in order to be more aware of what a person is doing and thinking, to make connections between things in life, and adjust behaviours and attitudes before it's too late. Reflection also builds an awareness of self, of one's own strengths and weaknesses, which is important to the development of the whole person.
Another challenge is that the quality of the teachers also need to be improved. Although Laos has many teacher training colleges and accept a lot of students into the teacher training colleges, actually not many of the students who graduate become teachers, and not the best students who graduate become teachers. They find other kinds of work because teaching is not considered very prestigious and economically very good for many people.
This is the challenge, to train teachers, educators and community members in the values of ESD and to create an ESD community in Laos. The following chapters are designed to show practical tools and techniques for implementing ESD in schools, homes and communities.